Hi, this is Majinoni, and here's my review for the three different Batman titles that came out today. You have Batman the Return, the regular Batman, and Batman Incorporated. Now, these two are going to be #1 issues, and this is basically the ongoing regular Batman title. Now, these are the first issues that are coming out that are dealing with basically the return of Bruce Wayne as Batman. And I have to admit, these are really, really good. They're just really good, solid stories, I think. Now, the return of Bruce Wayne was a horrible mistake. It was just horribly written. You needed Google to figure out what was going on, and then even then, it's like, why would you want to bother? Because it's lame. And when the Return miniseries or single issues were also just as badly written, but what they did was, it looks like they put all their eggs in one basket, and they started with this, and this actually is really good, really, really solid. In Batman the Return, you have Grant Morrison and David Finch, and Batman Incorporated, you also have Grant Morrison, and the regular Batman is you have Tony Daniel, and it's really, it's solid. Now, in a nutshell, this is basically what's going on here. Batman realizes that there's something, some great darkness in the world, and he's got to save us all from that. And he can't do it from Gotham. So what he does is he calls in all of his closest people. So you have Batgirl, Oracle, Batman, Tim Drake, and the Batman and Robin, Dick Grayson and Damian. And basically what it does is he says, okay, here's my plan, and I want you to follow these instructions. He sends Batgirl to Europe. He's going to upgrade Oracle to the Internet 3.0, so she's going to have basically the back door into this, and she's going to be, he's basically souping up her attack. Grayson and Damian are going to stay in Gotham, while Batman's going to go do his thing overseas. What he's doing, basically, what we learn in this is he's going to be training other people to become like him, I guess you can say. Now, this book is really, I love David Finch, and I know there's a lot of people out there who don't like him, but my guess is as long as Finch is on the book, it's going to be late, eventually. So that's going to be what's going to be disappointing about it. Here's some examples of the artwork, and like I said, it's really, I really think that this is going to be off to a good start. Now, what they do with it later, that's going to be what's going to be the question, is how well is it going to be. Now, there is a slight variation between the two Batman costumes. Like, for example, the Bruce Wayne Batman has like lines here, so that's how you can tell them apart. So you can see it like more pronounced here, and the other one doesn't have that. Now, this is where this is like at the end of this, the story kind of splits, and this is going to be basically, this was dealing with the Damian and Dick, and then they're going to be dealing with this villain here. Now, Incorporated, Bruce goes to Japan with Catwoman. So at the end of this, he calls Catwoman, and this is where it continues. Now, one thing I found kind of amusing is the first place that they're going to is Japan, and they're meeting this guy, Mr. Unknown. Now, I think this actually is kind of brutal, because you have this guy, Dr. Unknown, and he wakes up, his fingers are basically like burned off from the acid, and this villain here, he basically throws acid on his face, type thing. So this is the last thing that he sees. And that just kind of sets it off into a whole new direction, type thing of evilness, or like you normally don't. I guess there's some Batman villains they did stuff like that, but it definitely sets a tone. Now, Mr. Unknown has a sidekick, which is this guy here, and then he meets, when he enters their secret hideout, he enters like basically into this mess. Now, one thing I found kind of funny is these guys right here. If you look really closely at them, they look like villains from, the Sentai shows in Japan. you know, the minions, because like a lot of the minions, they'd have generic like masks, and actually these almost remind me. It's like a combination of the Dai Shocker villains from Kamen Rider and then the general like Sentai type villain. Even this guy, I guess you can say the Lord Death almost reminds me of somebody right out of Kamen Rider. But anyways, so Batman and Bruce and Selina, they go to Japan, and then they uncover that Bruce's first guy that he wants to train is dead. Now, one other thing I thought was kind of funny is Mr. Unknown works at a Japanese comic shop or anime manga type place. And there's this poster here of this girl with the tentacles and the panties, and Catwoman's looking at this going, I don't see what the draw is. And like, if you really think about this, I mean, this is the draw. You know, you got the girl, you get the panty shot, you get these tentacles, and while I don't get into tentacles, I can see where the draw is at least. And I know there's probably at least few of you out there who probably have a few of those DVDs in their shelves. But anyways, this was like a really solid book. I think the art in this one's a little different. Like this one I really enjoyed a lot. This one took a little bit getting used to, but I'm liking the way these two are working together. The only drawback to the way this thing started is this one. In this, you have Selina. She's in Japan, but then here she's back in Gotham. So it's kind of like the continuity is a little skewed, just slightly. In this one, you have basically this lady. She wants to buy out property in Gotham, and she wants, you know, basically say, you know, I'm going to take this strip of buildings here, and I'm going to make this place a wonderful place to live for people. And it turns out there's somebody that's trying to take this kid out. So that's how Batman gets involved. One thing I thought was kind of cool was you have, like I said, some action taking place over here, and then Dick Grayson goes after the girl, and he basically needs his costume, so Alfred sends a drone to drop off his costume. So I thought that was kind of like it's kind of like a creative way to get these guys their costumes wherever they are in Gotham. But overall, like I said, I think the art here, I really like it. Solid. I think this is off to a really good start. I know I was bashing Grant Morrison for all those earlier titles. I'm telling you, those titles, I still hate them, but he redeemed himself with this. 3 solid titles. If you're wanting to jump on Batman, this is the starting point. Get this one first. Excuse me. If you have any comments or questions, let me know. Subscribe to the channel. Rate the video up or down. Let me know what you think. And until next time.